Bottom of the second inning here at Bourne Park, and already a man on in Evan Mendoza after a leadoff double into left center field. 2-0. Hyannis Hard Rocks, and now Diller will step in. He flies one out into center. Truitt ranging over, and he's going to go right in front of Este, but he calls him off, and he gets the first out of the inning. Hyannis in that top of the second inning. Cody Henry struck out swinging. Trey Truitt was hit by a pitch for a second, but then strikeout looking from Chris Hudgens and a ground out to second. Este ended the inning for Hyannis. Bowers in his second inning work after 2 runs scored, single by Andrew Shaps and the other off of the error by Cameron Este. One out, and that one is called for a strike away as an 0-1 count. Coley will step off. And Coley will step off once again, and Mendoza on first after the leadoff double. On second, excuse me. And a 1-1 count for Bowers as he throws that one in to Reyes playing in right field.
Both a little flustered after all this Wi-Fi trouble. Continues here at Bourne Park.
That one's a slow chopper over to Proctor. He'll scoop and 3 reaches out, and they get 2 outs in the inning. Mendoza moves over to third.
Nice play from Proctor on the run. Continued his momentum towards home. And now Bowers is going to have to face this top of the lineup that he struggled against in the first.
So Willie Ong in the leadoff spot, walked in his first at-bat. He pops that one into the air over the Hyannis dugout. It'll be an 0-1 count. Jan has recorded a hit in every game that he has played against Hyannis.
And we mentioned his in-game hitting streak, 14 for his last 35. 35, excuse me.
Swings and misses at that one, and Bowers works an 0-2 count.
The interesting thing there, though, is he only has 1 RBI in these last 8 games. And that's just his, I mean, Jan is usually in the leadoff. Also just speaking to how the bottom of the lineup for this Bourne Braves team is just not getting on base.
And just goes foul. The third base umpire had to get out of the way before making the call even. But it did look like it hopped over the third base bag out of play. Luckily, this will be another run scored for Bourne. But Jan will have to return with an 0-2 count. It's got some major flow.
Yeah, Jan, he's got it. He's got the wings coming out of the helmet. He has all season. What a look. I just cut the mullet.
0-2 count. Swing and a miss, but it's just fouled by Young as he gets the end of the bat on it. Goes behind the backstop, and he stays alive.
You know what? I always believe that the long hair, the long mullet flow is a baseball look, not a lacrosse look, even though a lot of lax guys have adopted it.
0-2 count in the dirt, and a hopper there. Hudgens blocks it. Maybe 1-2 count. What about hockey?
Well, yeah, that was, I mean, hockey players always have mullets.
Yeah.
You know, that was just a,
it's just a given fact.
Yeah.
I feel like lacrosse players mix it up a lot.
They just have the wings in the back. They just like the flow in the front, too. So baseball guys they just want it hanging out of their helmet and their hat.
1-2 hits upstairs for Bowers, and Jan check swinging it as he kind of came around, maybe just defensively and to move out of the way of the ball, but it'll be a 2-2 count.
But, with baseball, you see two kind of players. And then you see the Willie Yans of the world.
He does go right field, half swings at it. He stays at a 2-2 count.
I'm trying to think if any Hyannis guys have any good flow in the back.
A lot of them have cut pretty close.
Yeah. Well, Cody Henry's got that's for sure.
I'm sure you love that you say that. 2-2 counts. Swing and a miss by Young down on his knee. And Coley Bowers gets out of the run and he Baseball League Network.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your family, friends, and neighbors. Learn more about bloodcare.blood center.
Followed by Ford Proctor and Nets in his first at bat reached over on an error from the pitcher in Holba, who now has 3 strikeouts on the day. And he stares on in, and the first pitch is to Netzer for a strike. Brett Netzer will batting now 18 runs for Hyannis. Holba gets skids right off the mound. Diving and making the grab is Mendoza, but he will have no play at first. And Brett Netzer reaches base for the second straight time.
Really nice play by Mendoza. Continues seeing the ball well tonight against Holba. 2 singles up the middle.
So now here is Ford Proctor. He reached base on a walk and reached over to second in the inning in the first. Holba makes the throw over. Nets are not too far off, and he can stand up safely. And Bourne scoring their first 2 runs in the first inning. They stand 2-0 as that one gets called for a strike on Proctor, and it'll be an 0-1 count. Wind slightly gusting around as the flag in the outfield shows it's pushing more to, but feels like it just can go straight to dead center at times as well. Proctor had 2 home runs in his BP. And that one misses way upstairs by Holba at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, Proctor's been seeing the ball really well. And a home run against Bourne. His first home run of the season. He's been on a tear as of late.
Now on a 9-game hitting streak. Holba, 1 for 1. And that one is swung on and missed and fouled technically actually by Proctor, and it'll be a 1-2 count. 9-game hitting streak. In that streak, he is 15 of 35 at .428 average.
Raised his batting average from 260 all the way up to 315 now. Leads Hyannis.
1-2 count for Proctor. Holba looks on over to first and sets on the mound. And he'll throw over to first. Netzer slides in safely. Trying to hold Brett Netzer over at first. Only has 3 stolen bases up here on Cape. 1-2 pitch, and that one is a short grounder. Oda Mendoza makes the play at first. Over, and they get the double play. So 2 outs quickly in the inning for Hyannis. A 4-6-3 double play by Ford Proctor.
And he just got out in front of that changeup. Easy Garza. Really good fielder in Evan Mendoza, who's made some nice plays. But good work. Holba's worked nicely after he had 2 runners on in the first inning. He got himself out of the jam.
First pitch misses down low at the knees to Zach Rutherford.
Rutherford has been slumping as of late, 2 for his last 20.
1-0. Rutherford lines that one. It hooks a little bit and will just land foul on the left field side.
We are literally right on line with that left field foul line. And we saw that just go from right to left.
Hook.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Rutherford. Yeah.
He will return back a 1-1 count. As Holba has a chance to go 1-2-3 in the inning. 2 outs, top of the third, and his team leading 2-0 as he kicks and deals. Check swing by Rutherford as it hits down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Only 2 hits for both teams and an error apiece.
Them a run. Cape Cod. Excuse me. I'm looking at these jerseys. Bourne Braves.
The Cape Cod Braves.
Yeah, the Cape Cod Braves, right? Red Jersey Friday. As they are repping those really nice red jerseys, the mesh red.
2-2 pitch and a broken bat blooper into left center, and it drops in fair for Rutherford as he reaches base safely with 2 outs.
And he gets his second hit in 2 games. So he's seen the ball well. I mean, he's got a big day tomorrow. Hopefully he can turn it on then. I mean, that's when it really matters, right? That all-star game. He'll be starting, as will Jordan Rogers and Dylan Busby do up next.
So Holba now will not get that 1-2-3 inning this time. Rogers steps in the right-handed batter's box. Struck out swinging in the first, and he drills that one into center. Mangum gets right under it, and he puts the final out of the inning away as the Bourne Braves still hold a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Fielder, number 22 from Mississippi State.
Bottom of the third inning, and a 2-0 lead still here for the Bourne Braves. It'll be Jake Mangum, Justin Yurchek, and Connor Wong to lead things off here against Coley Bowers. Worked much better in that second inning. Did get that leadoff double by Evan Mendoza, but shut down the next three guys, fly out, ground out, and strikeout swinging. And only left Mendoza stranded over at third. So he'll look to continue that here in the third inning. 1-0 pitch, fastball, 85 miles per hour, probably a changeup. And it'll be a 2-0 count. Excuse me, a 1-1 count to Jake Mangum. Showing bunt is Mangum, but he pulls it time. And actually will be a 3-0 count. I thought they called that one a strike, but they did not. Bowers, 3-0 count, and inside right near Mangum, and it's another leadoff walk here. He walked Mangum in the first inning as well.
Now all three batters have reached base for the Bourne Braves in these 3 innings. Leadoff man.
So still no outs in the inning. Mangum stands over at first, and that one hits off speed by Coley Bowers, and it'll be an 0-1 count to Justin Yurchek. And we continue on here. Another food for thought segment, as this time we have the pretzel burgers here at Doran Park. And we are joined once again by Will Yates and Jack, and both of you. The similar food this time. You both don't have different kind of foods, as both having normal pretzel. I don't know if you all have the same condiments on it as well.
I got some ketchup. You got some ketchup and mustard, it looks like.
Yeah, I've got a bit of ketchup and mustard.
Well, oh my gosh. This is probably my favorite, honestly.
Ground ball over. Rutherford makes the quick throw to first. Try over. And they are not able to get that play at first, as he was reaching over that way. Had to make a long throw to second. But they do put one out. The leadoff man in Mangum out in to get there first, but Yurchek reaches on a fielder's choice.
He gave pretty much what the pretzel burger is. It's a burger sandwich between a soft pretzel, which you wouldn't normally. It's not like a soft pretzel, but it's as much as a soft pretzel as you could, imagine being a bun.
It's not like toasted.
Yeah,
it's more
not
just
like
kind of like warm.
It's not something that you're gonna buy, like a soft pretzel that you're gonna buy at some concession stand. It's more of a bun.
That one flips it into left field. Estee moving back, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Jack's exactly right. We don't really have such a pretzel culture, I suppose, in the UK, and when we do have them, they're quite salty. So I was expecting this particular concoction to be saltier than our notoriously short-tempered broadcast into Nicole Hansen, but it's actually gone really well. I really, really like the texture of the bun in particular, and the sort of golden brown top adds a nice layer of yielding crunch.
They don't really have pretzels. They kind of do.
You all started a terrible moment just as I was sticking a huge mouthful in my mouth.
I'm sorry. A strike goes in there for Andrew Shaps, the DH, who scored the one RBI in that inning and allowed Mangum to score on the error.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with this is that it just tastes good. I mean, the thing with the donut burger that we had at YD was that there was a billion different things going on the taste buds, but this is just a burger and a pretty good pretzel on top of it as well. So one of my favorite things. I mean, I remember eating 2 or 3 of these the first night that we were here.
Yeah.
That first game.
You were a hungry man.
Yeah.
0-2 count.
Nothing has changed
for
either.
Shaps.
If I had my way, I'd probably have a little bit more cheese on this. I feel like there's a lot of bun going on, and it'd be nice to have a bit more sharpness in there from the cheese.
But other than that,
0-2 count. Misses upstairs for Coley Bowers.
I wasn't exactly familiar with the whole pretzel mustard combination until I saw Gabe have it at YD, and then I decided to have some on my burger, and it's proved to be a really good call. I'm enjoying it great.
I'm a big pretzel mustard guy. Breaking ball in the dirt by Bowers, and it'll be a 2-2 count to Shaps, as Yurchek still stands over at first.
And the thing is, at Doran Park, I mean, the whole kitchen crew is cooking these burgers 30 minutes before game time because they sell out so quickly. These are a popular item.
The 2-2 is fouled up into the air over the Bourne dugout, and Shaps is having a battle here with Coley Bowers.
I also saw something that looked like a sausage baguette but the baguettes looked somewhat anemic, so I opted not to go for that, which is somewhat unfortunate because I do really like a sausage sandwich, but the paleness of the bread just didn't appeal to me. You've got to have that sort of crunch on top, and it just wasn't there.
Sausage baguette. Was it like sausage and peppers, or was it just a sausage?
Again with the whole mouthful thing. Okay. Other than that, it did just look like a sausage. So in that situation, you're really leaning on the quality of the meat.
Yeah.
And I just, given the quality of the bun as a proxy for the quality of the meat,
Oh, don't take that, dude. Just take the quality of the meat, knowing that you're eating at a baseball concession stand.
That's probably a fair point.
Payout pitch awaiting here for Shaps as the breaking pitch missed in the dirt for Coley Bowers. 2 outs, bottom of the third inning, 2-0 game for the Bourne Braves. As Bowers looks in, kicks, and deals. Runner goes, and it misses upstairs and high, and he walks Andrew Shaps and leaves 2 men on now, still looking for the final out, and the power hitter in David McKinnon stepping up to bat.
Yeah, McKinnon. He's punished Hyannis. Last 2 games didn't do much damage, but before that, we saw a couple of doubles from the bat of Dave McKinnon. And now with runners on scoring position and 2 outs. Not the guy that you want to see at the plate.
Staying in the right-handed batter's box, McKinnon looks into Bowers. The first pitch drops in there nicely for a called strike. McKinnon batting .259 out of Hartford. 15 runs for him. 17 RBIs. Pops that one in the air. Henry moving around right by the dugout. It goes too far. Lands on top of the roof of the Hyannis dugout. But Bowers gets to an 0-2 count on McKinnon. He had a 2-strike count on Shaps, but could not get him down.
And Jack and I here are licking some very sticky fingers after some heavily condimented burgers. It's always a sign that you've enjoyed your meal.
0-2 count for Bowers. Kicks and deals, and that one misses upstairs. Does not drop as what he wanted.
Last time that we're here at Doran Park, too, so the last food for thought here with the pretzel burger.
Yeah.
We've got 4 more away games, 4 more home games.
That one is lined, but goes foul on the first base side by McKinnon.
The one place that we haven't done the food for thought is Wareham, and we do have an away game at Splain Field, so that's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what we can come up with there.
I don't remember Wareham having anything
out of the ordinary special. Yeah.
Was that the place with the marinara sub? The meatball marinara?
It was, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do that? Oh, my gosh, we did do a food for thought. Oh, my gosh.
All right, the 1-2 count misses for Bowers. It'll be a 2 balls and 2 strikes to McKinnon. I forgot about that. He did do the
chili
dog,
meatball sub was amazing. Oh, my God.
Was that the sub? What was the hot dog?
It was the hot dog was a Chatham.
That's
right.
The
chili
Chatham.
dog.
Right.
The chili dog was a Chatham.
Bowers misses down low, and he gets to another full count here to David McKinnon.
I was caddying for a lovely lady at the golf club I work at, and the other day called Mrs. Ugelin, who told me that up until recently, Couture had fantastic lobster rolls. And so apparently they don't have them this year, owing to a price rise.
That one's lifted high into the air. Proctor calls it from back, still leaning over, and he can't make the catch. It stays in fair. 1 run will score. Another throws in. It won't make the catch. Is Hudgens, and 2 runs score off of the miss, and moving over is McKinnon. 2 more runs cross Ford Bourne, and now 4-0 lead after Ford Proctor cannot make the play in shallow left field.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if everybody at home could hear it through the microphone, but the wind was whipping around, and really Proctor he had no shot because it was caught up with the wind. Ball just blows right by him. 2 runs score. The throw from short wasn't great, and that allows McKinnon to advance all the way to third.
First pitch, swing and a miss by Evan Mendoza. And now basically every run so far has been a miscue defensively for Hyannis.
Yeah, I mean, Bourne has just kind of looped something into the outfield with 2 outs and defensive errors.
Swing and a miss. And an 0-2 count once again as Bowers has had 2 strikes on the last 3 batters. but they have not gotten them out yet. He stands here with the third one, and he'll try to do so. Bowers kicks and deals, and that one is line and drops in fair in right field. McKinnon will come in to score, an RBI single with 2 outs for Mendoza, and it's 5-0 Braves.
And Gabe, Bowers obviously making his first start, and he's done well. I mean, he's executed his pitches and everything. The biggest problem is that with 2 outs here, he just cannot find that last pitch. And granted, he has not been helped out by his defense. I mean, 2 unearned runs in 5. I mean, I guess 3 now because McKinnon crossed home, but just can't get that last out.
Swing and a miss by Reyes for strike 1. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, he's getting these 2-strike counts almost every batter for the most part. But he can't pitch away because now they see what he's giving to them, and they just can't. They'll foul everything off until they find a good pitch for him to swing. That one misses down low. 1-1 count for Reyes.
And you credit Bourne for putting up good at-bats, fighting some pitches, and do something low. Got to keep his curveball low.
1-1, check swing, and he did go around. And it'll be a 1. That's the big thing. He's been hitting low, but he's been not getting the called strikes, and he's barely been missing low by the knees of some guys, and he hasn't getting that called here tonight. He sits at another 2-strike count, 1-2 to Reyes. He kicks and deals, checks swing, and he gets Reyes looking. He knew it, but 3 runs come across for the Bourne Braves to make it 5-0. As we'll go for the final food for thought here. Will, what did you think as we conclude here?
I very much enjoyed the burger, and I'm sad that this is probably one of the last ones I'll do. There's a stuffed quahog at Warren that I'd love to try, and if we do find a stuffed lobster roll at Couture, that'd be great. But other than that, it's been a real eye opener for a Brit coming over here and experience.
All right, Jack. Still feasting on his burger. Maybe he'll give us a little bit in the end. Jack, you want to maybe?
Yeah, sorry, you caught me without my headset on, and I was polishing off the last few bites. Fantastic. I'm probably going to get another one.
All right. But unfortunately for Hyannis, they trail 5-0 as we head to the 4th inning here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Five nothing lead for the Bourne Braves. Here in the top of the 4th inning at Doran Park. Holba still standing on the mound. He'll face Dylan Busby, Cody Henry, and Trey Truitt. He yields the first pitch down low in the dirt for ball 1 to Busby. And Hyannis has been just struggling fielding against Bourne. Only have 1 error. That was the one in the first, as that one wasn't counting progress. He couldn't even make the catch as the wind just turned the ball away from where he originally thought it was going to be. But it helped those 2 runs to score for Bourne to make it at the score that is now 5-0. Holba, 2-0 count, chopped foul. It'll be a 2-1 count to Busby, who flew out to center in his first at-bat. Hoba sets once again. The pitch is lifted deep into center field. Moving back is Mangum at the wing over, and he won't be able to make the grab. It stays actually in fair territory. It just stays over the fence.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that was inches, if even centimeters, away from being another home run for Dylan Busby.
Oh, and Gassman is looking over at him because Busby tried to swag, thought it was gone right off the bat, and was walking down that first baseline. Wasn't even around first when Mangum didn't come up with it, and then turned on the Jets to get to second. Oh my gosh.
He does get to second, though, a leadoff double.
He could have gone all the way around the bases if he was running.
And now here's Cody Henry, who has done terrific against Bourne in his last 3 games. He fouls that one right, though, into the dugout. And it seemed like a Bourne player just got out of the way in time as he basically fell onto the ground to avoid getting hit by the line drive inside.
Yikes.
Gassman goes in to talk to him, but they're all smiling after it.
It was Kev. It was Kev Mulholland. He was right next to him.
That one pops up into the air into left. Moving over is McKinnon, still moving. He makes the grab and quickly throws into third to avoid Busby from reaching there.
He was.
That's not.
He was right next to him.
That's not how you want to start off being up here.
No. Catch a foul ball to the chin in the dugout. Ugh. Then they send you right back home. That's how you get sent home early.
Still one out. Busby stands at second. And now Trey Truitt, after being hit by reaching over to second in the second inning, stands in the right-handed batter's box. The pitch from Hoba is a fastball at 90. Call for ball 1. Hyannis needs to try and get something going here.
Drew it in 217. The runners in scoring position. 23 at-bats. 6 RBIs.
And he'll sit with a 1-2 count.
I just got a fight here. Big at bat. Runners on. Something across. Get contact. Doesn't matter if it's a ground ball or fly ball into the outfield. Something happened here.
2-2 count. And that is a short grounder over to second. Looking over and almost losing the ball is Ehrman. He makes the throw over to first, but Busby does come around to score, making it a 5-1 game for the Braves.
Great work by Hudgens. Strikes on him. Just put a grapple up the middle. Busby easily comes home there, and Hyannis, they get on the board.
Tristan Barlow.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and Coley Bauer's day is done for Hyannis after 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, and 3 Ks. And he will be replaced by the lefty Mississippi State Bulldog in Tristan Barlow. Coming in today, it will be his 9th appearance. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 12 hits, 7 walks, and 5 strikeouts as he misses way down low to the first batter in Ironman. Barlow sets once again and deals, and that hits for a strike and a 1-1 count.
Barlow coming off of a good outing against YD. Pitched an inning. Walked one.
1-1. Ground ball escapes into the gap into left field, and a leadoff base hit for Ehrman.
And Barlow's biggest thing that he needs to work on, just getting ahead of the counts. A lot of times when he's gotten really rocked around, he was falling behind. You see there, falls behind 2-1 and has to get a fastball across. Ehrman just easily pokes it in the hole between short and third. So Barlow just needs to get ahead so he can use his off-speed pitches.
Here. By Hyannis, and that one will move both runners as sliding in is Ehrman to third, and Jan moves over to second as I don't know if it's simply the wind, but the communication is off today for Hyannis.
No, that was Trey Truitt was way deep in center field. That's the second time that we've seen a ball drop in front of him. Yesterday, the same thing happened, and Netzer and him just not on the same page. They couldn't come down with it at all. And Gabe, it kind of looks like Little League on the field right now. I mean, they're throwing the ball around. You see Truitt after the play, he just wings it to third. That allows Jan to advance. And they're going to give Willie Jan a hit, but really, there have been 3 major errors for Hyannis, and they have resulted in 3 runs. And it could be more now with no outs here in the fourth.
And none of them have been strong hits. They've all been I mean, that one was a pretty strong hit, but that wasn't anything crazy you hit. Normally, Trey Truitt half swing by Mangum for strike one. And then you had the other one that Proctor couldn't come up with as well. And then you have that one there. And it's just been the miscues that have given them this 5-1 lead.
And I don't know why Truitt was playing that deep on Jan.
A 1 count. That one is lifted into center. Moving over is Truitt. He makes that out. Scoring up from third will be Ehrman. And diving in for a slide was Jan. He literally hopped into the air and into third base. He does get there safely, though, and it's a sacrifice flyout for Mangum to score the 6th run of the game.
That's just how Willie Jan slides. It's kind of funny. He'll hop in the air. But, again, Mangum is a guy that you play back on, and Truitt wasn't nearly as deep as he was on the at-bat from Willie Jan. And he made it to Mangum's shot just fine. So it doesn't go down as an air game, but it 100% is, you know.
First pitch, pick up the rover, and they don't get Jan at third. No, I think if you're in the coach's mind, you've counted all 3 of those plays as errors.
Yeah, 100%. How could you not?
0-1 misses upstairs for Barlow.
I mean, the first thing that they teach you after making an error is don't overthrow a runner. Don't throw behind a runner. And that's exactly what Truitt did on center when Jan was rounding second.
Ground ball right into play. Rutherford watches over to Jan, and he makes the easy throw to first. He avoids one run from scoring, and he gets the second out of the inning.
Infield was in. Good work from Barlow to induce the ground ball. And Barlow's going to get an earned run for Ehrman crossing. And granted, Ehrman did come on with a single, but, just unlucky for Tristan Barlow, who, the stats don't show it. He's really struggled in just a couple of his outings, but other than that, he's been consistent.
Now faces lefty deals, and he misses upstairs. Six-1 lead for the Bourne Braves as they are looking to even the series at 3 apiece. For both teams, the final game between these two in the regular season, that one is popped into the air in foul territory, and it'll be a 1-1 count for Connor Wong. Both these teams have been in close games. Every time they played each other, every game has been decided by 3 runs or less. That is not the story tonight, as Barlow misses upstairs in a 2-1 count.
Hyannis, they just continue to struggle on the road. When they're down more than 4 runs entering the 6th inning, they haven't come back.
2-1 count, and that one misses. Picking up his foot is Wong. 3 balls and 1 strike here for Barlow. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Barlow sets once again. Stares in and deals, and that one misses way upstairs. And it'll be a 2-out walk dealt to Connor Wong, and now runners on the corners for the Bourne Braves.
Barlow now with more walks than strikeouts. 8 walks on the season.
And getting dark very quickly here at Dorham Park, and
wow,
probably turn the point, but
cloud in. That is crazy. I don't think I've seen something happen like that where the lighting has changed that quickly.
Barlow checks over at first, and he makes the throw, but standing up safely will be Wong.
It's a drastic change, Gabe.
And the lights, they're going to take a couple of minutes to fully have the
Starting to flicker.
broken bat flies into near. Does not reach in there, but that will end the inning as Barlow escapes with only and still holds as we head to the 5th.
The perfect blend of fun and excitement. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
a 6-1 lead. The lights are starting to give some view here for the players as the darkness crept in almost immediately. That one is lifted shallow into center field as Mangum is over quickly on Brett Netzer.
Bowers and Tristan Barlow now 90 pitches to get through the first. That's a lot. 90 pitches.
Now batting the shortstop.
You can already tell. I mean, the clock at 7:30 right now. 4 innings in. Just
Lights.
good thing they have lights.
First pitch misses outside. And Prato, meanwhile, for Holba, he is moving strong here into the 5th inning. He's only allowed that 1 run to come across for Hyannis. There to Proctor. Two balls and 1 strike. Both these teams will have the final game, and then a handful of their players will head to Chatham, Massachusetts tomorrow. The game starts at 2-1 pitch from Holba, lifted high into center field. Magnum moving over, still moving, and he finally rests under it and gets the second out of the inning. In the 5th inning, 2 outs after center by Netzer and Proctor. Holba fire, and that one misses way outside. Once again on the mound, and Holba sets at the belt, still looking in for the pitch from Wong. But then he will reset now back on the mound once again. Okay. Holba will kick and deal, and that one's a ground ball and will move into the gap into center field, and a 2-out base hit here for Zach Rutherford. He has 2 singles on the day.
And it's all just putting the ball on the ground.
Now batting the third base.
Hitting back up the middle, just line drives.
Rogers.
Yeah, 3 hits after only 1.
He does it, though, once again. And he leaves it up to Jordan Rogers. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Holba deals, and he misses outside for ball 1.
That seems to be Hyannis' problem, is that they can't really get anything done until there are 2 outs in the inning.
Holba will kick and deal, and that one hits for a fastball. And I know it has no relation to this team because of the team last year, but it was just simply crazy to do last year with runners and 2 outs. That one is lifted into left field, moving over is McKinnon, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So once again, Zach Rutherford is left stranded after the flyout from Rogers. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning, a 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, a 6-1 lead for the Hyannis for the Bourne Braves. Hyannis would want them to have the 6-1 lead.
Yeah, it's a big game for both these teams. I mean, Hyannis has the edge 3-2 on the series, so if they win this one, and it's just big for playoff implications, especially if Bourne makes a run at it in these last 9 games.
Barlow still on the mound, and he misses down low for a first ball to David McKinnon. McKinnon, a run scored after a single in the third. Barlow kicks and deals, and that one hits for a called strike on McKinnon.
Yeah, McKinnon with that double that you put in quotation marks, as Ford Proctor just missed it on the pop-up. Could have been an out.
Barlow does hit there for a strike. It'll be a 1-2 count here to David McKinnon. Leading things off here in the bottom of the fifth. Barlow sets at the belt and deals, and that one is going right back over to Proctor. He scoops it up at short and throws to first, and there's one away.
We didn't mention this earlier, Gabe, but Proctor starting last night's game at shortstop and Rutherford at second, so they don't switch in this one. I mean, possibly to give Proctor's arm a little bit of a rest, maybe, second not as taxing short in movement. And, I mean, Proctor will be starting at shortstop tomorrow, obviously.
Rutherford will be.
Yeah, Rutherford, my fault. People once again.
But yeah, no, we've both done it many a times because of how many times they switch back and forth.
I mean, they live together.
They do live together
they
too.
Play right next to each other. They bat 2 and 3 in the lineup. But good friends. They're always together in the dugout. I mean,
they're inseparable.
They are inseparable.
0-1 count. Ground ball running over and not making the up and trickles in the center, and it'll be a 1-out single for Evan Mendoza. They conference
playing the same conference, Conference USA. I mean, the only difference is that one's a lefty.
Yeah,
at the plate, really.
One out here for Barlow. He stares at first, and he deals first pitch. That one sounded like a broken bat over to Rogers. They try for 2, over to 1, and they turn the double play as Hyannis takes out all the runners on base. And Barlow gets out of the inning quickly as we head to the 6th, as 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the sixth inning, a 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. As he also committed one error, but it did not come back to haunt him like the mental errors and the physical errors for Hyannis have this evening. We've seen a couple of the past 5 innings of play, and they have led to pretty much 3 runs out of the 6 for Bourne, who has not won in quite some time. Dylan Busby will walk up to the plate as the right-hander in Cook takes the mound. Busby was warming up in the on-deck circle for quite some time, even while Hyannis was in the field. He was warming up in the on-deck circle. As a double, thought it was a home run. Ended up on second base to lead things off in the 4th, and he leads things off here in the 6th as Zach Cook gets a fastball for a strike down the middle.
Yeah, Cook's made 30 appearances while it went through a 3.3 record, excuse me, a 3.48 ERA, 41 1/3 innings pitched.
The pitch is a fastball right at the knees for strike 2.
Has 49 hits, 35 strikeouts, and 15 walks, and a batter average against, though, of 327.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Dylan Busby. 3 pitches and 3 strikes for the newcomer in Zach Cook as he sits down Busby for the first out.
Yeah, and you can see for Hyannis, once again, it's just been a struggle to find hits when they need them. And yesterday it happened against Brewster because of their poor bullpen and because they had it at such a low-score game at that point. But Bourne has just found ways to score more runs in the previous game, which makes it a tougher mountain to climb for Hyannis.
Cody Henry comes to play, fouls the first one back into the screen behind home. Bourne looking for their first win since last Saturday, a 6-5 win against the Catuit Cavaliers. Since then, they have lost 4 games, tied 1. 3 games. They've lost 3 games, tied 1. As Henry swings through this one, an 0-2 count to the first baseman, who's 0 for 2 this evening. Struck out and flew out to left field in his last plate appearance. Henry had 2 hits last night, a single and a double in the 7th and 8th. Came around to score in that win. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss on the upstairs fastball. 2 outs here for Connor Cook, and he has yet to throw a pitch out of the zone.
Yeah, and Henry, last 3 games, he had really dominated Bourne, 7 of 12 with 7 RBIs, but he and the rest of the Hard Rocks have just not found their rhythm here tonight.
Well, here's Trey Truitt coming up with 2 outs here in the 6th. The first pitch from Cook finally misses upstairs, the fastball. 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves. Connor Cook in relief from the starter and Chris Holba. Holba, the right-hander, takes a deep breath, looks at third, comes set, and fires a fastball on the outside corner. Hits for strike 1.
And meanwhile, everyone's struggling, but Trey Truitt, he's reached base both times so far, but he's been left stranded at second every time.
Does not have a base hit tonight. Was hit by a pitch and then walked in his last at-bat. The 1-1, swing and a miss from Truitt on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. It's a 1-2 count. Truitt, one of those players mentioned that not counted as an error on the board, but definitely a mental error in the field as the curveball misses down low, hits the dirt for ball 2. He's playing way deep on Willie Yan. And Yan just popped one up in his center. Truitt couldn't get to it. Neither could Netzer, who was ranging up. Standing on second, and Jeremy Ehrman, who led the inning off with a single, standing on third. Ehrman came around to score, but Yan was held at third. That was the last run for Hyannis. The 2-2 pitch from Cook, swing and a miss from Trey Truitt on the fastball on the outside corner. 3 outs, 3 strikeouts for the reliever in Connor Cook for the Bourne Braves. We head to the bottom of the second inning, or excuse me, the sixth inning. It's a 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the sixth inning here in Durant Park, a 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves. Lead things off the next stop for the Braves. A couple of changes in the field and on the mound for Hyannis. First, Lucas Gilbreth, the left-hander out of Minnesota, coming in relief after Tristan Barlow gives an inning after Coley Bowers started the game. He's responsible for 5 of those runs out of the 6 as Gilbreth comes across a strike. He's pitching now to Ricky Smith, who comes in for Chris Hudgens behind the plate. Brett Netzer coming in from right. He'll move to second as the curveball from Gilbreth hits at the knees, an 0-2 count now to Ehrman. And then out in right field, it will be Treg Habercorn. Gilbreth comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A fastball just misses on the outside corner.
And you can see for Hyannis, the defensive switches, taking Rutherford out probably just to give him a little bit of a break before he gets to the All-Star game because he will have to play in that game, and a lot of players will have off days.
Swing and a miss from Ehrman. 91-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. First out here in the 6th.
And, I mean,
Jordan Rogers is really getting the short end of the stick here.
Yeah.
He's the only other All-Star that's still playing.
yeah, I mean,
That's in the field, at least.
You could move Busby out, but, I mean, Busby's played at third almost every game he's been up here, too, so it's kind of tough. You can't take everyone out of the game.
Well, they did move Busby out of the lineup. He was originally slotted to play third base, but they scratched him and put him in the DH spot. Cameron Este went out into left field as the curveball from Gilbreth misses to the leadoff man and Willie Yan. 1 for 2 on the day with a walk. Fastball misses from Gilbreth, a 2-0 count now with 1 out in the 6th.
And, I mean, you put in Smith because you know Hudgens is probably going to start almost every game now after the All-Star break, so you're going to give him as much rest as possible and give Ricky Smith some at-bats and see what he can do.
2-0 pitch, fastball hits.
But I like Gilbreth, how he looks right now. He's moving very quickly, and that's something you don't always see with him. He sometimes goes slower, but he is really revving.
Curveball misses low, a 3-1 count now to Willie Yan.
The next pitch.
pitched against Bourne in his last outing, gave up 3 earned runs on 2 hits and a walk. As this next pitch has popped up, working its way foul over the dugout out of play, first base side. Gilbreth definitely got knocked around against Bourne. 2/3 of an innings pitched. And I'm mentioning again those 3 earned runs. That's a season high for him.
And I mean, look, you threw all your all-star pitchers yesterday. Naylor, Harrington, Cave in that order.
Next pitch, the 3-2 is chopped, backhanded by Rutherford at short. The throw over is in time. 2 away here in the 6th. And out last night to preserve that win for Hyannis as they came from behind and beat Brewster 5-2. See the pen. Barlow comes and then Gilbreth, and then you'll probably see Daniel Johnson at some point as well.
And we talked about guys until other pitchers show up. Barlow, Gilbreth, Daniel Johnson after ended this game. They're all going to have to find ways to become better.
Dropped bunt by Mangum down third. Just picks into the throw is in by Rogers at third. That one on the bunt from Mangum to get the 3rd out here in the 6th. We move to the 7th, the 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves. Hyannis still looking to chip away at that lead. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. We move on to the 7th inning of play. 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves. Zach Cook still on the mound in relief of Chris Holba, who, if the score holds, will be granted the win. As Ricky Smith, who came in for Chris Hudgens, will lead things off. It'll be Smith and Cameron Este in the 9-hole, and in the top of the lineup in Brett Netzer. And Gabe, I mentioned a little bit earlier in the broadcast, we talked about how in the bullpen and in the starting pitching, we're getting a little bit shorthanded on arms, but a newcomer is coming up as Cook. This is on the inside to Ricky Smith in his first at-bat. Garrett Cave called up his friend from Florida International, phoned him up and said, "Hey, buddy, we need you up here," as this one nails Ricky Smith right in the helmet. Holy cow. Ricky Smith got rocked in the helmet. He's fine. Trots down to first base. That's why you wear a helmet. Oh man, that could have been scary.
Yeah, he didn't even go down. And you look at him, he looks like a tough kid out of Merrimack, and he showed it there. And he gets on base for Hyannis, and that's not the way you.
He's all right. He's at first as Este comes up, and Cook overthrows this one on the backstop. It comes right back to Wong, sliding in safely at second as Smith. But that was a lot closer than expected. As Cook's fastball rebounds right off the brick wall, comes right back to Wong.
Hyannis is getting unlucky with these walls, man. They are firing right back to him. But I mean, that works with Cook. And you can see that he had those 3 strikeouts in the inning. And
Brad Netzer is messing with Gabe right now. Holy cow, on deck. He's just staring him down. Do you think it's tough staring at that eye black? You just see that face. He's still the only guy on the field who's wearing eye black.
he's still looking at me, too.
Maybe he thinks you're cute.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, he looked back over. Yeah, I think he might have had something as they're going to have a meeting on the mound. Manager Shapiro coming out, talking with Cook, as are the trainers. It looks like they're looking at Cook's fingers. Might be checking for a blister. Nonetheless, a little bit of stops of play here. But as we mentioned, we got derailed a little bit on our conversation.
Interrupted us.
Yeah, and so did they.
So did the hit.
So did they. The hit by pitch for Ricky Smith. But Garrett Cave calls up his left-handed friend from Florida International and says, "Hey, man, we need you up here." He's coming up Sunday afternoon. He's picking him up from the airport right after the All-Star game.
Yeah, he's true reliever, and Zach Cook is going to leave the game here for Bourne. Yeah, Dominic Lubrato, a good friend of Garrett Cave, and you saw it with Florida Atlantic. Alex House brings up his friend and Mark Nowadik. He gets a start. He gets a very good appearance, in fact, in a win that Hyannis gets against when the team was coming back. But, yeah, we'll talk about him probably more as we head to the break.
Well, we'll see if the mutual friends pays off for Hyannis as they keep coming up here on the Cape. Zach Cook, out of nowhere, his day is done. It looks like he must have had a blister on his finger or something bothering him. But nonetheless, we'll see a pitching change here in the in the seventh inning for the Bourne Braves. Ricky Smith stands on second. No outs in the inning as Cameron Este at the plate. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, a 6-1 lead for the Bourne Braves in the seventh. Top of the 7th inning. Hyannis with a runner on second in Ricky Smith and a left-hander at the plate in Cameron Este, who surprisingly does not get pinched hit for as a new relief pitcher for the Bourne Braves, a lefty, and Brendan Little comes to the mound in relief. The left-hander in his 10th appearance this year. He's been shaky on Cape Cod, a 5.52 average as Este swings the first pitch and fouls it off, but he has dominated Hyannis really in that last game that he pitched against them. It was a 5-4 win for the Harvard Hawks. He pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. 3 hits, only gave up 3 hits and struck out 5.
And I think the main reason for keeping Este in is the guy's going to be in the home run derby tomorrow. Give him a couple of swings.
1-1 pitch. This one's fouled off, 92 miles an hour from Brendan Little. We've seen him get into the mid-90s.
Yeah. And if you're going to give him a chance to swing at 90s tomorrow, maybe he'll have a little bit better swing when he goes up against the meatballs that he'll be thrown at to get some shots out and chat him.
Well, Brendan Little really was cruising along up here on Cape Cod until his last appearance at Brewster, in which the Whitecaps were down 6-0 until the 8th inning when Brendan Little came in. He gave up 6 earned runs on 8 hits. His fastball rides up inside on Este, misses 2-2 count now. And, you know, you're just going to have those outings sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, Brewster's a team that
I was going to say, you bring up Brewster, and if you said he came into the game as he hit, I think more likely than not, you're going to say Brewster.
That lineup just get nowhere. 2-2 pitch to Este. Curveball misses, gets by Connor Wong. Smith will take third easily. Wong was not even – he really just didn't even try for that one.
I mean, racking up the wild pitches. I mean, they're first in the league in wild pitches with 39 coming in today, and they've had a couple already before this time with the guy on the mound.
I think
in Little.
It looks – I mean, Wong and Little are walking out to the mound together chatting. It looks like Wong and Little were just not on the same page on that pitch at all because I think Wong expected the fastball, and instead
Wong was
Little,
not prepared.
No, not at all.
He was pretty far down. He'd reach all the way up it and outside to get it, but Este works a full count, and Smith works his way all the way to third, and there's no outs.
That's the situation here in the top of the 7th. Trying to get that first out for Bourne. For Este. Works himself a walk, so the first 2 runners are on here for Hyannis against 2 different pitchers. And Zach Cook, and the other in Brendan Little, and now will be the top of the lineup. And Brett Netzer, and you talk about Cameron Este not hitting lefties. Well, Brett Netzer
out though for Netzer to kind of turn that lefty-lefty matchup to his favor.
Netzer has 2 hits this evening, but flew out to center's last outing. In this next pitch, he chops it to second. Mendoza to second for the first out, but not on to first as Netzer beats out to throw. A run will score for Hyannis. A 6-2 ball game now with 1 out in the 7th.
And I mean, I think that you'll take that if you're Hyannis. You do lose the leadoff run in Este, but you only give yourself 1 out. You score a run in the process, and you slowly climb back in the game. And look, Hyannis will have 2 more at-bats after this. But if you're Bourne, you don't want to keep spending up your entire bullpen in the final game. I mean, you will have a day off tomorrow for most of your bullpen, but this is not the situation you want to be in after Hyannis has helped give you the runs that you have at this point just to lose it all as the game goes on.
First pitch to Ford Proctor is in there for a strike. Proctor walked in his first at-bat, but grounded into a double play back in the 3rd and flew out to deep center field in the 5th, trying to continue his 9-game hitting streak that he's got going. Little kicks and fires the 0-1. It's in the dirt. They'll appeal it down to the third base umpires. Proctor check swung, but he did not go around. A 1-1 count now. Netzer stands on first with one out here in the 7th. Already a run across in the form of Ricky Smith, who scores his first run of his career up here on Cape Cod. Greg Habercorn, the left-hander, stands on deck as Netzer takes off. The pitch is a strike. Netzer's out at second base. The throw down from Connor Wong is in time. It didn't look like a close play at all. But Netzer's caught stealing for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and he fired at a fastball, little did, which made the throw a little bit better, even though it was down low for Wong to make the throw. I thought that was close, too. I was actually going to try and steal to avoid the double play, but that was a very close play at second.
1-2 pitch from Little. A curveball misses low.
I thought it was going to be close, but I thought Netzer had the slide in before he made
I thought Netzer
the catch.
I thought Netzer had the bag. I didn't think that. Nonetheless. 2-2 pitch. Proctor chops this one up the middle. On the forehand is Airman. He'll make the grab and he'll make the throw over to first. Third out of the inning recorded by Brendan Little, who comes in relief of Zach Cook. A run does cross here in the 7th for Hyannis. They're still down 4 runs, heading into the bottom of the inning. A 6-2 lead for the Bourne Braves here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Heart of the lineup to lead things off for the Bourne Braves here in the bottom of the 7th inning, as they lead this ball game 6-2. Lucas Gilbreth comes in for his second inning of relief, as he'll face Justin Yurchek, Connor Wong, and Andrew Shaps here in the 7th. Yurchek 0 for 3 on the evening. Reached base by a fielder's choice and came around to score back in the 3rd, as Gilbreth misses on the outside half for ball 1. Yurchek walks. That's most on the Bourne Braves team.
Most on the Cape, too.
Goes the 1-1 pitch blown out into left. Este drifting a little bit to his right. He'll make the grab.
range true when it comes to pitchers as much as have made.
3-1 pitch misses upstairs. A 5-pitch walk to Connor Wong, the first base runner given up by Lucas Gilbreth this evening, and the 9th walk on the season.
It leaves early on and just can't seem to find a rhythm to be put in that bottom part, and that's what's happened. That's what's happened to Barlow as well and Daniel Johnson, and it's just as hard to
please.
We move to the eighth inning. Park, a 6-2 lead for the Bourne Braves. New pitcher on the mound in relief of Brendan Little, the fourth pitcher used by the, as it will be Tanner and Andrew Cabezas at the University of Miami. He will face Treg Habercorn, who leads off the eighth. First pitch is a ball outside. As Cabezas, 2.61 ERA here on the Cape. In his sixth appearance here against the Harbor Hawks, misses this fastball low, and it's a 2-0 count. Last outing was against Hyannis at Hyannis in that 5-8 loss for the Braves. In 2/3 of an innings, gave up an earned run on 2 hits. 2-0 pitch. Habercorn into the right center land. Coming around it is Mangum. He slips. Habercorn, he slides a lead for Treg Habercorn, who came into right field as a defensive replacement for. Good look there from Treg Habercorn. Great to see that he still got the stroke down.
Yeah, I mean, hey, go for it. He has some speed as well. He turns around over there to get to second. Look, you normal lineup in here doesn't mean you can still keep chipping away. Only down by, and as in, you will have another inning to with the bats. So you don't have to grab everything at once, but things get going. And then this inning, who knows what can happen?
Good extra in the seats for the center fielder out of Cincinnati as Jordan Rogers steps in the batter's box now. The All-Star will start tomorrow night's game at in left field. Faces a 1-0 count here against Cabeza. Or this one, a one-hopper to Jan, who goes up and gets it. Fires on to first, but it's offline. Yurchek has to come at it. Habercorn advances to third on the play, and now runners at the corners with no outs in the inning.
And I thought that was going to pop over the head of Jan. I thought he wasn't going to have enough ranging back, and he tries to make a quick 360 spin, but that one just way off the mark to Yurchek. He has to come up the bag. Habercorn does a nice job reading it, knowing that Jan is going to have to make that throw to try and get the out, and he runs over and slides into third. And it's a good job, and 2 men on now. And well, we do see a pinch hitter in the DH spot in Carl Staduar.
Carl Staduar pinch hitting for Dylan Busby after his name was botched over the PA system. It's a difficult name if you don't know it. As the first pitch from Cabeza, swing and contact. A single out into right field. Habercorn comes around to score, and Rogers advances to second base. An RBI single on the first pitch of the at-bat for Carl Staduar. It's a 6-3 ball game here, and there's still no outs in the 8th inning. And guess who's up at the plate? It's Cody Henry, who had some heroics here for Hyannis in their last game at Durham Park. 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, and he scores 2 runners to put Hyannis ahead 5-4. They hold on for that win. And in another situation here in the 8th with no outs and 2 runners on. First pitch drilled into right center field. That one will land and hits the fence. Rogers comes around third. Staduar motoring his way as well. And Cody Henry stands up at second base. He knocks in 2 more runs for Hyannis, and it's a 1-run ball game with no outs here in the 8th inning of play. Cody Henry does it again.
This guy destroys. And he's been just, and he Jordan Rogers for the lead in our one of them actually technically because he gets 2, and he does it by scoring Rogers on that. This guy is insane, and especially when he plays Bourne. 9 RBIs in his last 3 games playing this team.
He loves playing the Bourne Braves, especially here in Durham Park. He has crushed Braves pitching. Still no outs in the inning here in the 8th, and all of a sudden, it's a ball game here.
And there's no outs, Jack, and the pressure is back on the pipes here for the Bourne Braves. They've already put in Cook. They already threw Little. Now they now have Sabeza. Who are they going to go to? They can't have much more people in that bullpen, so they have to keep him in for at least the time being. They have someone warming up, but if you're Bourne, you don't want to use everyone, even though you have a day off, but this is a serious situation you find yourself in right now.
The good news for Cabezas and the Bourne Braves is they face the bottom 3 hitters of this order to hit this evening in Truitt, Ricky Smith, and Cameron Este. As the first pitch to Trey Truitt misses upstairs for ball 1.
And the other big thing that it does is it brings everything back from what happened last time here at Dorn Park. It trickles back into the minds of all the players of this is the same thing that happened last time.
1-0 pitch, swing and a miss from Truitt on the off speed. Good change-up from Cabezas to even the count at 1-1. 3 runs scored here in the 8th inning on 4 straight hits for Hyannis. It's 6-5 ball game, and Cody Henry stands in scoring position at second base with Trey Truitt at the dish. The 1-1 pitch, another swing and a miss on the off speed from Cabezas, and it's a 1-2 count.
And you can see that Truitt is trying to contribute. He's trying to get that bat around, make some contact, but you got to stay a little bit in this now. Let some of the more guys get up here and see if they can find themselves on base. Truitt's reached base almost every time without swinging the bat.
Cabezas, the 1-2 pitch, curveball misses outside. Good location for the right-hander out of Miami, but just misses. Ricky Smith on deck, who was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. The 2-2, this one misses low, and it's now a full count to Trey Truitt, who's reached base twice this evening via the hit by pitch and a walk back in the 4th.
Yeah, and if you're Truitt, you need to be very selective here because you get a walk, you put even more pressure on Cabezas.
Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball misses outside. Trey Truitt works himself aboard with a second walk this evening. No outs here in the 8th inning. Bourne, they've got one man warming in the bullpen, up and standing. He's not throwing. And now he'll start to warm up as Hyannis. They've already scored 3 runs here in the 8th, and they're threatening to score more.
And what an opportunity to find yourself here. Ricky Smith, the newest guy, and he finds himself a major opportunity to get a big hit here for Hyannis. It had to be pretty far to score Henry at second, but
we'll see what happens here. He could do the sacrifice bunt. We've seen him commit it once as he does square to bunt. The first pitch is a strike. Smith pulls back. We've seen Ricky Smith lay down a sacrifice bunt already, and you know, it's a good situation to be a team player and give up the at-bat to get 2 runners in scoring position with Este in the 9 spot, and the Netzer coming up, who has a hit tonight. Smith squares again. They'll try to pick off Henry at second. He dives in safely as Ehrman came from behind Henry at second base.
But, I mean, if you can do that, you move Henry and you move Truitt over. You put Henry 90 feet away and you put Truitt at speed at second.
Yurchek creeps in from first. Smith fouls off the bunt right into Connor Wong, who rolls around a little bit shaken up. But now 2 strikes to Ricky Smith. And we'll see if he bunts again. He's having a conversation with Gassman, who pats him on the back and just says, hey, let's get a job done here.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it's just really risky to bunt. Again, even if there's no outs, but you have to be positive you're going to make contact with it. And I think Gassman's just going to give him the green light here and just swing. But, I mean, we'll see. He usually just immediately goes for the bunt sign. Doesn't even try to hide it.
0-2 count now to Ricky Smith with runners on first and second. No outs here in the 8th. A 6-5 lead for the Braves. Smith squares. He fouls the bunt off. And that's it for Ricky Smith as he just gets on top of both of those attempted bunts, and there's one out here in the inning.
Yeah, he full contact on it with the barrel of the bat and make that play. And now you have Cameron Este, though. I mean, he has the power and he has the ability to get this hit. At the very least, I think he needs a fly out to just move everyone over a base and then to put the final opportunity to score the tying run.
Cameron Este comes to the plate 0 for 2 on the evening with 2 groundouts. He walked in his last plate appearance in the 7th. And Coach Shapiro makes the dugout. It looks like this could be it for the right-hander in Cabezas. Shapiro still making that walk to the mound. I think he will make the call, but nonetheless, Hyannis, they've scored 3 runs here in the top of the 8th inning to come within a run. And Braves, all of a sudden, it's a ball game, and with 1 out in the inning, they'll make another pitching change. Cabezas gets tagged with 3 runs as Cameron Este awaits at the dish with 2 runners on base. Hyannis, they trying to tie this ball game and take the lead in the 8th inning. A pitching change for the Bourne Braves. They lead at 6-5, just barely, as we will step aside for the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Over third base dugout. Excuse me.
But I think that it still runs true here for Este. Under one and fly it somewhere into the outfield where you can move both Cody Henry and Trey Truitt over a base to put them all in position to try and get at least the tying run.
We'll do it again. The 1-2 delivery. Fastball swinging him in for the reliever in Chad Linsman.
Yeah, he really got Este swinging. They made him fish for it outside, you don't know if you want to do it 3 times, and you're always looking for a big hit right here to try and at least move Henry over and get the next guy up to bat.
2 outs in the 8th, 6-5 ball game. Bourne leading. Brett Netzer at the plate. The first pitch from Linsman is low. 5 straight. The first 5 batters for Hyannis. They all reached. 4 of them a base hit, 1 of them a walk. But then the last 2 batters for Hyannis have struck out against Bourne pitching. Linsman kicks and fires the 1-0. Netzer gets one through the hole between short and third. Henry is being held up at third, but nonetheless, Brett Netzer gets his second base hit of the night. Now the bases are loaded for Ford Proctor here with 2 outs in the 8th.
And McKinnon was making sure there was no shot he was going to turn third. He threw his entire body into that throw. And Henry made the turn. Gassman was careful about what was going to happen. He was making sure that McKinnon was running in pretty quickly. He didn't throw the stop sign immediately, but I think he had full intention of doing so. But he stopped. The bases loaded, and a big opportunity for probably one of your hottest batters in Ford Proctor.
Ford Proctor, 1 at bat with the bases loaded this year, and he failed to get a hit as Linsman gets a first pitch strike across. Proctor, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, is hitting .429 with 2 RBIs and 7 at bats. As here. Step out of the batter's box. Ford Proctor working on a 9-game hitting streak, but he does not have a hit tonight in 4 at-bats. It's the only time that he's reached base. 0-1 pitch. Proctor fights it off. A short grounder. Ehrman charges it on the run. The throw. Proctor safe at first. An infield single for Ford Proctor. The tying run and Cody Henry comes across for Hyannis. It's a 6-6 ball game here in the 8th inning.
And what a way to increase your hitting streak. 10 games for the man from Rice, Ford Proctor. If the All-Star game was tomorrow, I think he would attend just to see if they would let him on the field after what he's been doing.
He has been unbelievable in the past 10 games. His 385 average in the last 10 games with 3 RBIs and a big RBI there. 6-6 ball game in the 8th inning. Now led off the inning with the double. Comes back to the plate as Linsman missed pitch. And what a way to do it. I mean, an infield single came off the hands of Proctor. Slow dribble and Ehrman in time. 4 runs here in the 8th. Bases still loaded with 2 outs. 1 pitch from Habercorn. It looks like it hit him on the foot. Nonetheless, the ball gets past Wong, and the win in the go-ahead run comes across in Trey Truitt as they take the lead here at Durant Park. It's a 7-6 ball game. And all of a sudden, just like that, Hyannis, they come from behind again.
And the wild pitches have killed Bourne in this game. I mean, it's really hurting them in this point. But you saw Wong. Wong thought that it hit Habercorn, and he didn't immediately react to it. And Trey Truitt's just going to run on home. If it's called a foul, he'll just run back to third. But he was going to make that play.
Habercorn swings at this next pitch, gets through the hole in center field. 1 run will score. Proctor is held up at third. He slips, but he'll work his way back. Habercorn at second. Another RBI single. This time it's Trey Habercorn, and now an 8-6 lead. Boy, Ford Proctor wiped out as he was rounding third base right on his butt. Just both feet come out from under him. 8-6. Hyannis leads 6 runs in the 7th, and Linsman just can't get Bourne out of this inning.
And look at Trey Habercorn go. He gets his opportunity. He goes 2 for 2 in the inning alone. And he gets an RBI and a run scored.
Jordan Rogers now scoring position. The first pitch from Linsman's a strike at the knee. 6 runs in the 8th inning here for Hyannis as they now have 7 hits in the inning. Linsman, this is the 1 count now.
And the other thing you look at, Jack, after Cameron Este, the righty and Linsman had to face 3 lefties in a row, and all of them reach base.
Roger pitch hits at 1-2 count. Carl Stadjar stands on deck as he pinch hit for Dylan Busby. Had a single as that scored a run in Habercorn. That was the first run that crossed in the eighth. 5 other runs have crossed, and it's an 8-6 lead as Linsman steps off for a moment. 2 runners in scoring position. Habercorn on second, Proctor on third, and Rogers at the plate with a step bat. The pitch is a high chopper. Jan waits for it. Instead, Ehrman comes up with the throw to first. Is not in time, and another run scores. Another single for Jordan Rogers, and it's the same exact kind of hit. A high chopper that just doesn't come down to a Bourne infielder in time to make the play, and it's a 9-6 lead here for Hyannis.
And Ehrman is having a nightmare inning right now. A lot has gotten to him, and he hasn't 2 times. He hasn't been able to make the throw over to first in time. He's had a chance to end this, and he has extended this. And the pipes have burst, Jack. Bourne they were reliving that game, and now they've just completely come back to haunt them.
They have not won since Saturday evening against Katuitt as Carl Stadjahar steps in. Linsman misses upstairs. 7 runs in the 8th inning. This game seemed all but over. 7th, where Bourne led 6-2. They were cruising along. It's out. Up the middle, Ehrman ranges over. He'll flip on a second, third out in the inning here. But the damage is they come out. They get 8 hits on 7 runs, 13 hits total now for the Harbor Hawks. And just like that, they have a 3-run lead headed into the 6th lead for Hyannis. And we'll step aside as we head to the bottom of the 8th here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Nine to 4 Hyannis, 2 outs here in the 8th. Base and Bro. As Jan takes this next pitch and fouls it into right. Habercorn unable to get it.
He was motoring though down right here. He's I'm going to try and make every play right now.
I mean, he wants to be in this starting lineup, and he has certainly proved his case tonight. As 3 backups kind of come in for Hyannis. They have all excelled. Single as well came in the pinch hit. Next pitch from Nowatnik. Fastball misses on the outside corner. Nowatnik was walking off dugout. Thought that one hit. 2-2. Hit on the in the 4. As Bourne, they strand 1 runner. And Nowatnik pitches a scoreless bottom of the 8th inning, a 9-6 lead for the Harbor Hawks. Stick around for the 9th inning. It'll be interesting. League Network.
Spangler.
9th inning of play here at Durham Park. A 9-6 lead for Hyannis after they scored 7 runs in the 8th inning on 8 hits. The 6th coming in for the Bourne Braves. They have had to go deep in the bullpen today. Zach Spangler, the side armor from Kent State University, making his 10th appearance here on the Cape, as he'll face Cody Henry to lead things off. Henry's pitch from Spangler. As Cody Henry doubled. He doubled in 2 runs in the 8th inning. Monster double out into right center field. This next pitch is drilled. Jake Mangum makes a great grab. He was behind him to make the grab. Shaded over, and he made the grab. 1 out.
That would have been dead. Talk about everything. Just that doesn't go. The inning can continues and Hyannis could just pull on.
Schneider, the new right fielder, and Brendan Bro, who makes the grab. Now 2 away quickly. And we haven't really had much time to talk about Zach Spangler, who has a 3.60 ERA. He gave up 4 earned runs in his first 2 starts. One of them, his first appearance, coming against Hyannis, in which Bourne won 5-4 back on June 12th at Hyannis. Up 2 earned runs in an inning worked with 2 hits and a strikeout as he faces Ricky Smith, who comes up in the 9th with 2 away. Smith takes a first pitch strike at the knees from the sidewinder. 9-6 lead. Hyannis as Smith banks this one, but just works its way foul down that right field line. Could have been his first hit up here on the Cape. But now instead, he'll work his way into an 0-2 count with 2 outs here. Spangler working in relief, the 6th pitcher out of the Braves bullpen after Chris Holba made a great start for the Bourne Braves. Only gave up 1 earned run on 5 hits. 0-2 pitch, a curveball check swung and fouled off by Ricky Smith.
And while we have an opportunity, we'll give you some updates around the Cape. Katuitt gets a win against the Orleans Firebirds 6-4. Brewster gets a 5-4 win against Chatham at home. Harwich, bottom of the 8th, they lead 9-2 over the Falmouth Commodores. And Wareham beats the YD Red.
Is on the outside corner to Ricky Smith. And Falmouth, with a 5-game win streak, looks like it could come to an end against Harwich. But Wareham continues the hot hand. They've won 3 straight, and now they're up on YD 11-5, as you mentioned. 1-2, swing and a miss from Ricky Smith. A 1-2-3 inning for the Bourne Braves, but we head to the 9th inning. A 9-6 lead for the Harbor Hawks. We'll see if they can hang on here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Stick with us. Hyannis. Noatnik has struggled a little bit in the 8th inning, but he got out of it off a good throw from Habercorn from right to throw out a runner. Noatnik kicks and deals the payoff pitch to Mangum. It's grounded to the third, to first base side. Cody Jake Mangum beats out the tough play made by Cody Henry. And he reaches aboard with a single to lead things off in the 9th.
Now batting the first baseman, number 20.
And the only drive there for that play to get that out, but he was close, but the speed of Mangum is too much for him to handle.
Well, here's Justin Yurchek, and we all know what happened the last time these two faced one another. Yurchek hit a solo shot to dead center field at Judy Scarefile Field. Noatnik gets a first pitch strike to the lefty in Yurchek.
He remembers. He hasn't pitched too many times now. He knows every at bat a little bit. He's kept this one special.
Yurchek up with one runner on as this one hits the dirt. Good block by Smith. The throw over to first. Slides in safely. Mangum slipped up there on the base paths after he took a big secondary lead. Thought the pitch got away from Smith, but Smith made a good defensive play behind the dish. Keeps it in front of him. And now a 1-1 count to the lefty in Yurchek. He was 0 for 4 on the day, reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score. He fouls off this curveball, and he'll make it a 1-2 count now.
And now the big thing now now against Noatnik, and what pitch is he going to use to try and fool him here? Like we said, I'm sure he knows what Yurchek did to him last time, and I think he knows how to work him a little bit after having a couple.
Bourne, they trail by 3 runs, a 9-6 lead for Hyannis. Your 2-1 count from Noatnik. Here's the pitch. It's roped fair down the scoring positions with no outs and the tying run coming to the plate in Connor Wong.
Yeah, that's a huge hit by Yurchek. He lines it up. In here, they're just going to work to get the first out.
Looks to be one arm warming in the bullpen for Hyannis. Too far away for us to see behind the right field wall as Connor.
Guys are seeing a lot better of his pitches from Noatnik right now, and they're making contact. They're fouling a lot off, but you look back at that Yurchek double, and he turned on it perfectly and got it right down the line past Cody Henry.
The 0-1 pitch. This one misses upstairs.
You need to find a way. Maybe get a ground ball, maybe do some 2.
9-7 the lead now for Hyannis. Still no outs in the ninth inning. At the corners for Andrew Shaps, the left-hander. Atlantic kicks and deals. It's a first pitch ball. Low in the dirt. Shaps, the designated hitter, singled in his first plate appearance, but since has not had a base hit. He walked in his second, and he grounded out to short, and then flew out to center as he swings at this pitch. It's up the middle, a base knock into center field. Fourth straight hit as Truitt misplays it, and runners are going to advance 90 feet, and now the go-ahead run is at second base. A 9-8 ball game. The tying run at third, and things just got interesting after another in the field, the second one for Trey Truitt.
Yeah, nice. This has haunted them all game, and now you're wondering, do they go to the guy who's in the bullpen? Mark Nowotnik, he is getting shelled right now by these guys. They are seeing him clear as day, and I think Gassman's going to do just that.
Gassman makes the walk out. It looks like as the game time just crawls over 3 hours now. This has been a battle through and through, and it will continue to be here in the bottom of the ninth. Pitching change for the Harbor Hawks, a 9-8 lead, but Bourne, they've got no outs, and they've got two runners in scoring positions. You're going to want to stick with us through this pitching change as we out on a moment. We'll take a break here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Hyannis with a 9-8 lead. David McKinnon now coming on. Two runners in scoring position as the pitching change is complete. Al Pesto comes in. The ball
I mean, that's really the can't let this fly out. I mean, you can get it flat and you get the out, but at the very least, it ties the game and extends this game for Hyannis. But Pesto, and now everyone's kind of playing in and out in the infield too.
Bases loaded, no outs here in the 8th as David McKinnon ties the game on 1 hit. 9-9 ball game, 3 runs scored here in the bottom. This is the first pitch outside. Hyannis scored 7 runs in the 8th inning to take a 3-run lead. But here in the 9th, the bullpen, much like Bourne's, has collapsed. Bases loaded, no outs, as Bro swings through this outside fastball to even the count at 1s.
And you wonder, is Bourne going to try a suicide squeeze? I mean, why not? You have no outs in the game.
They've also had 5 straight base hits. 6 runners have reached. Fastball from Pesto misses on the outer half, and it's a 2-1 count. We all remember the walk-off walk that happened here in the first game of the inning. 16 straight balls that led to 4 straight walks. And the walk-off win for Bourne. They're looking to do that here with the bases loaded and no outs in the 9th. The 2-1 pitch, fastball, hits on the outside corner. And Pesto evens the count 2-2, who came in as a pinch hitter. Bases are still loaded for Bourne as all 6 hitters have reached here in the 9th. You talk about a collapse for Bourne. You have to look at the other end. As Hyannis, they're short on arms in the bullpen like most teams are here in late July on Cape Cod. The 2-2 pitch to Bro. It's fouled off into the screen behind home.
And these Hyannis pitchers are not getting anyone fooled right now. They're all getting contact on every pitch. It doesn't matter. They're staying alive, and no one is fooling Bourne right now. They are seeing the ball so well in this inning.
Now, Adnick will be charged for all 3 as Noadnik came in the 8th inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Pesto, fouled off once again, same spot. And Brendan Bro putting together a nice at-bat here as he tries to finish off Hyannis in the 9th inning. Bases loaded. The winning run just 90 feet away. at second. He makes the grab. One away here in the ninth. After 6 straight batters reached, Brendan Bro lines out to Netzer at second. That's a big out.
That's a huge out. You get a ground ball now, and it's in good play. You have a score at every base. You can get a double play going here if you're Hyannis. That's a huge grab by Netzer. He plays the infield as well, and now Corn's going to go out and talk, but a great play by him. I mean, you had to think at this point with how Hyannis has been pitching, how Bourne has been hitting, that you would have to make a defensive play because Bourne just has not missed pitches. They've hit every pitch, whether that it has to be fouled off or anything, but Corn's probably going to talk defensively what he wants to see from Pesto, what he wants to see from the infield and I'm telling you, Jack, I would maybe think about looking for this bunt here at some point, a suicide squeeze to finish this game off.
Out there, including the home plate umpire who's standing outside of the circle of Hyannis infielders. No one warming in the Harbor Hawks bullpen out in right field. Corn still out there chatting things over with El Pesto. Bases still loaded for Bourne with 1 out. They've tacked on 3 runs here in the ninth to tie it. And game-winning run 90 feet away.
This is the part where having the All-Star game the next day hurts you because if the All-Star game wasn't tomorrow, I would think you would see Garrett Cave in this game to finish things off.
And the game would be over.
Yeah. To these guys, you have to give it to other Hyannis pitching to try and get it done, but it just hasn't happened. But it's just a variable that you have to look at. Because I truly believe if the All-Star game was not tomorrow, Garrett Cave would be in this game.
He would indeed, but unfortunately he is not, as he will line of the first pitch to Jones is a fastball at the knees. Hit 270 down at South Carolina with 49 RBIs. His second game here on the Cape was 1 for 4 in his first. Righty-lefty matchup in favor of Bourne here. Bases loaded with 1 out. The pitch from Alpesto misses outside. And it does hurt you. I mean, this could have been a big win for Hyannis. It's still not over as they can still work their way out of the 9th inning. But with Cave coming in, it's just a different ball game in the 9th inning with a 3-run lead. The 1-1, fastball misses upstairs. Pesco calling for the ball right back. The infield still in for Hyannis.
And Pesto, he's trying to stay away from Jones here, but at some point you have to drop it in there. You got to make him throw strikes.
The 2-1, grounded right at Proctor, makes a diving play. The throw to home is not in time. The throw draws Ricky Smith off the bag, and Bourne walks off on another Hyannis. They lose the ball game. After Hyannis made that 7-run comeback in the 8th. Proctor made a fantastic play at short, but he just couldn't get the throw home in time to grab the winning run. Andrew Shaps. And that's it here at Durant Park, a 10-9 walk.
Like you said, it comes around full circle. Mental errors, and you had it perfectly. Proctor makes that throw to first. That guy is out, and you still survive in this game.
And again, the mental errors are what cost them. You saw Truitt have a second one in the 9th, and that got base runners up 90 feet for Bourne into scoring position. Those 2 runners all came around, and it's 4 more runs in the 9th inning as Hyannis. They come back after a 5-run deficit, and then they just blow the lead once again, unfortunately, and like you mentioned, it's a different game if the All-Star game is not tomorrow because you could have seen Garrett Cave, maybe James Terry bullpen.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, you can look back on that variable now because you have to feel happy for seeing those guys in the All-Star game, but it's just a loss after you get that big win against Brewster. You come back and fight in this game, and your depleted bullpen finally bites bites you in the butt in this game.
A 10-9 win for the Bourne Braves here at Durham Park. Another walk-off win against the Harbor Hawks for Bourne, as they will head, the whole Cape League will head tomorrow to Chatham for the All-Star game. The participate in it. 3 will start in the form of Rutherford, Rogers, and Busby. We hope that you tune in to that game. We will be back on the air against Chatham Sunday night game at Veterans Field, as Chatham has a handful with the All-Star game and the game right after, the day after. For Gabe Sustick, I'm Jack Heffer. Thanks for tuning in despite the spotty broadcast from the Wi-Fi here at Durham Park. Again, a 10-9 loss for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks headed into the All-Star break. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Thanks for tuning in.